Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, get that bell notification on so you don't miss out on the next episode of Brockton County, an Ontario-themed city, and make sure to hit the like button too. The like button helps the channel a lot. In today's episode, we are going to build our little boardwalk around this bay estuary area, and I'm pretty excited about it because I think a boardwalk is a good idea for this type of area because I kind of assume that this kind of area would have some fluctuation in the river height. It's kind of just like a shoot off of the main river here, Brockton River, or we actually haven't named the river yet. But speaking of names, we got some great suggestions in the comment section. So if you have any comments or name suggestions for any roads in the city or any neighborhood or anything like that, please leave them down below. And I've been trying to decide on which one should be this name. And I'm trying to find like a pretty good street for it. And I'm thinking this street right along here, which is now called Campbell Street. It is going to be changed to Laura Secord Drive. Laura Secord is a Canadian historical figure from the War of 1812, and I thought that was a very fitting name for a major road in the city. So we have Queen Street that comes along here, and now we have Laura Secord Way, or Drive, I guess. I guess Way is probably a better name, isn't it? Came to the top of my head, and I believe that was actually the suggestion as well. So there we go. Thank you very much for your suggestion, Ben. Thank you. But we also have one more name, which is Hemlock Street here. We're actually just going to change this to a pretty basic name of Main Street. Now, Main Street is a very common name in every town, but I feel like it's very suitable to be a main street. It's down the main strip. It connects right at the end of this semicircle, and it has a connection to our highway. So in the coming episodes, we're going to start expanding beyond our little quadrants that we have over here. But today we're going to do the boardwalk over here, Batherston Boardwalk. But before we get started, we do have some unemployment demands. So we have 10% unemployment. So that tells me we need a few jobs. So I'm going to zone in just a bit of industry so that we can kind of let that happen as we work on the boardwalk. So I'm just going to zone that in for now, and we'll see where it takes us. But at the end of last episode on Friday, we built this little national park entryway. I don't know if this is a national park, but I don't think it really suits that, to be honest. There's the size of it. It's more of like a boardwalk, but I still think it is very fun to have. So I think what we need to do first is look at where we can get some of these side gates, because it doesn't act like the park asset, the city park asset, which has these really small gates, which I think would be suitable more towards the town. But I really wanted the national park assets in this area. So we're gonna have to stick with the nature reserve side gate. And, you know, I'm sure it probably just won't be the biggest money cheese that we can get, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm actually just going to bring a road out right from here. Just about here. And this is where we're going to build our side gate. So I'm actually going to, you know what, I think that's actually a pretty good spot for it. So we're only going to really have spots for 2 side gates, it seems. Which is going to be interesting because I think I might just leave open connections along here. But let's look at actually building the boardwalk part of this. So if we're elevated like this, we get a bit of a mossy kind of look. It's not the greatest. Why don't we take a look at some of our other path options? I actually think the new European pedestrian bridge might be a good kind of look. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's just remove it and let's make it a bit more elevated so we can kind of see what it would look like. So it's got some concrete stuff, which I'm not the biggest fan of, to be honest. What about... you know what? I think I was thinking of this one when I was when I brought it up, which is from the new Bridges and DLC pack, the American Pedestrian Bridge. Yeah, that's a nice boardwalk looking thing. All right, so why don't we look at drawing this in, and let's use the freeform road for it. All right, so I think we're gonna stick pretty close to the main pathway here. Let's start with that, and we'll see how we like it, and then we'll just kind of follow along. Yeah, let's bring it to there. Now, is that too high? Yeah, I think so. Let's restart this. So we'll do this. I'll bring it down 1 notch, so it's only 1 above the ground, and we'll start right there. Curve it along the road. Yeah, it's very nice. Now, we're not exactly building this to get a 5-star national park. What we are building it for is for the look of it. So I'm just trying to get this to curve around this area nicely. There we go. And I'll come back and adjust these later on in the episode. Because I know that it's a bit wonky to build it like this. Alright, so now that we're over here, I think we have a couple of options here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring it to the ground level here. And right there, I'm going to attach it to the ground. And then we're going to go in a bit of a loop here. So this is where we're going to... actually, does this have a ground version? It's just a normal path. You know what? That's actually a pretty nice path, too. It's a bit thicker than the other ones, I believe. But does it kind of suit this area? I would guess so, because it's a developed area, so it would obviously have lights. It's a bit of a, we're kind of playing a lot on the national park vibes that the game kind of pushes you towards. We're kind of making our own rules. Curve in like that, and then from here we will just swing over like that. So we got a bit of a nice little pathway here. I think this road needs to be paved for sure. Now I believe, I'm thinking about this now, I believe if we were to use this one instead, I think it might kind of suit the area a bit more, because it's not like a dirt driveway in a way. But maybe we are just kind of overthinking things. And let's just go down to this dirt road. Yeah, see, I don't know if I like with the rocks and everything like that. Let's see if another road would suit this, or another pathway. The zoo path. I mean, that's pretty nice. And then this is just a normal gravel path. I mean, I think lights should definitely be on this pathway. And then this is probably just a bit too short. Oh no, it's just the same pathway, huh? All right, well, you know what? To stick with the national park vibe, let's just go with this. We'll do that, and I'll come and adjust those in momentarily. And we do have this weird little connection though. So I think if we can just manipulate it ever so slightly to try to remove as much as possible, that would be good. But this way we have some lights, but it's not overly intrusive. All right, so I'm actually gonna pull this over this way. And then we're just going to readjust the pathway so that we get some nice curves on it and it sticks close to the road and everything like that. So I think the first and most important part of this will be to get the nodes in proper place. So we're gonna get them pretty close to this road here, and we will readjust it. like so. I've never built a boardwalk in this game. The idea came to me when kind of looking at how we were going to build a park around here, because it was so marshy. And I think the idea kind of works. So unfortunately, I think we're going to get some of these little breaks in the nodes, I guess, but there we go. This looks pretty good. I don't want to get it too close, whereas it seems like it's connecting to the pathway here. But I definitely do want to get a connection over at Main Street. Alright, so we're just gonna drag this one up like that. Readjust ever so slightly. And then we'll bring this one up like this. Let's also get that vegetation off the road. And we will adjust it like so. Nice. All right. And then now here is our connection to Main Street here. So let's go back to our pathway over here. And we're just going to drag it in just like that. And we're going to resume it over here. So we're going to go elevate it again. And then we'll just use move it to adjust this. Pull it back a bit. And then, whoops. Draw it in like that. So we have a bit of an interesting thing we can do here. So I think what a good option would be is to bring this pathway out. And we can do something with this later on. So let's just readjust this little section here. And make sure that we didn't break the nodes. We're good. All right, and then we will hop back over to this. All right, so we're elevated again, and we're just going to, whoops. Oh no. Sometimes that happens. Call some mulligans on some builds here. All right, so let's go back to Freeform Road. That's what I was expecting we were already in. And we are at elevation. And let's just pull it back to there. And we'll swing it out like that and curve it over. And like I said, we're just looking to build it in first and then fixing it later. So I think another option we have right here is to come back to home over here. So it looks like we're getting elevated a bit with the terrain. So right here we can get another split off. So we're gonna go back with our pathway with lights. And we're just going to do a bit of a curve, bit of a loop. And connect up like that. All right, so we only really have 3 connections onto this nature reserve, but I think that's fine. We're not trying to get a level 5 park. We are gonna get visitors because it is an attraction in the city, for now at least. And I think it'll raise the land value around here as well. All right, so that's looking good. Sorry for the spinning. And I think we can probably raise this one up a bit because we're kind of into the ground here. All right, so as we're doing this, I'm still monitoring our commercial demand, our industrial demand, and our residential demand. And it seems like our residential demand has just been skyrocketing. So I think what we'll actually look at doing here, let's actually lower this down, is adding in a couple housing developments as well. All right, so I think this actually has to raise up a bit. Looking at the terrain here, and that will allow us to raise this one up. So we don't have a node right here. I'm sure we could just simply add, but I think a bit of an elevation change could be kind of nice. I don't think it needs to be that high. I'm monitoring over here because right at that little post, because it looks like we're kind of clipping into the ground here, and easily I could just adjust the road here, but that's not the name of today's game. Alright, so let's swing that over. Let's actually pull this a bit closer. Yeah, we're good. And then we'll do the same thing on this side, but the opposite way. And we'll have to raise it up because it's not technically a boardwalk if it's on the ground, right? I guess it is if it's made of wood. And there we go. We pulled that in. Let's actually just hold Alt down and move that node away. And then we'll just refix this. It's a bit of a move it tutorial, it seems. So we do have some people using this pathway for free, which is totally fine with me. We're not in this build to make money, but I do want to check how many visitors are visiting Waterfront Boardwalk. So 50 out of 500, that's fine. And we already have an incredible amount of entertainment. I'm assuming it's because of something. All right, well, it looks like we don't really need to design it. I guess maybe it's the rocks. Oh, look at that. Good thing we caught this. We have a bit of garbage problems here. So looks like we're just gonna have to keep on building some landfills here. And we do have some options to change that up. And I will add in a recycling center. I think we can actually add the recycling center in a bit closer to the town. It'll help break up the traffic along that highway. Plus, it'll help out with our garbage problem. All right, and we also have some issues with not enough workers down here. So what we could do is we could look at adding in a development over this way, but I'm not looking to do that today. So we got this boardwalk in. I'm just gonna zone in some residential because we do need it. And I'm gonna eye a couple spots, perhaps along here, which might be nice. So I guess we could get a bit of a road along the coast here. And that will get us some extra lots along here. But I was looking at potentially getting a bridge out this way eventually. And what road would be good for a bridge? Well, you know, I think this street here, Sabrina Street, could definitely be a good option because it connects to the avenue here and, oh, it doesn't connect to the highway here. Perhaps Young Street. Hey, that's pretty fitting for a Toronto neighborhood, but this is where our nature reserve is. We also have these options here of these frontage roads, but maybe Sabrina Street is the option to go to get a bridge across here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to look at getting this bridge, and then we'll zone in some residential. But I think I want to bring it right to here because this is where the terrain kind of flips. And then we are going to look at getting maybe a new bridge in. So the American 2-lane truss bridge, that works. 2-lane stone bridge European. I don't know if that's the type of road we're looking for. 3-lane highway viaduct. Okay, well, let's go with this one. And we'll go to bridge. Oh, come on. And I think if we just get this across. It's pretty good. It's a pretty cool looking bridge too. This isn't supposed to be a major bridge. This is just supposed to be perhaps one of the original bridges in the city. All right, so I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to select these nodes here. And I'm going to say all of you get to this height. There we go. So that did raise it up a bit. And then this way, the reason why I did this is because I want to be able to plan out the next bit over here. And I wanted this bridge here because we'll know in advance where we can and cannot build. So I'm going to try to match this. I'm actually going to use dirt roads here because it's much cheaper to build with dirt roads and then erase it after, right? So I'm going to try to match up with this road here. Just going to do that. I'm going to pull this down like this. We're going to connect in here. And by doing that, and holding Alt down, and then line it up with that road. And another good little trick. Looks like we have a node in that middle section there, which is pretty convenient. But you can also do the same thing with the other roads here. All right. So we did lose a house on Ivy Street. So I think we'll just zone that in momentarily. And I'm kind of thinking we probably shouldn't have development on Sabrina Street here. So I'm going to go to the roads. I'm going to click on this tool. I'm going to right click on Sabrina Street. Yeah, and then that removed development on there. So I don't know if, I think this lot's fine because technically it's on Mary Street and Reed Street over here. But now that we have that in place, I can look at deleting that little section there and over here. And I do want to try to adjust the zoning over this way, but I don't want to get too nitpicky here. So we definitely don't want zoning on that side. So I think what we'll do is we'll use the zoning adjuster. Let's right click on that. That did remove some, you know what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to delete this and redraw it in. Alright, let's do it again because I think that node was interfering a bit. Let's do this. Nope, it's just being silly. That's okay. We don't need to have every lot perfect, right? So we'll just extend it out to there. We're not going to get any housing on that street, but I think we'll get some houses right here. Let's actually just encourage not having a house right there. And we're not going to get any housing along this area as well. So I think what we can do is go back to that tool, right click over here, and there we go, that readjusted the zoning in our favor. Alright, so we're not going to get any zoning on this side, but I do want zoning over here, so we will leave it. I'm also going to look now at filling it in with a normal road. There we go, and then we're just going to continue this street down ever so slightly until we start dipping, so right about to there. Then I'm just going to curve back here. Actually, let's go with an alleyway. I think I want a two-way alleyway. Two-lane. Oh, no. I am definitely going to look at getting that mod that resorts these, because I thought it was going to be fine dealing with it, but it seems to be a bit confusing, doesn't it? Maybe I don't have them unlocked. No, definitely not in there. One way. See, I want the two-way version of it. Doesn't seem like we have. One way. I thought there was a two-way version of this. Oh, there it is. Jeez, okay. I'm just going to bring this right up to there, and then we're going to do the same thing up to here. Throw this back to the beginning. Resort it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to here. I'm going to say prioritize older roads. Oh, there we go. Prioritize older roads. Oh, that took it off. Come on. Alright, we'll just have to live with this. Alright, I'm still playing around with it. Still learning that tool. And we'll just zone in all of this. And actually, while we're at it, we will then upgrade this road entirely. Hey, look at that. It jumped it. And then right along here in this alleyway, I'm just going to build some smaller houses. Smaller zoning. And then we'll also get some right there. And then I'm actually also going to look at getting a pathway in. I'm just going to get a gravel pathway because I feel like this would be more of like a pathway that people would have made themselves, and it wasn't a pathway that the city built. And we're just going to connect up right into there. Alright, so it kind of helps space that area out a bit. So we did get a tiny bit of zoning in, but not a ton. Perhaps we can just look at zoning in these blocks here, because I know this is going to be residential in the future, and this will help us out in the immediate need. But I'm definitely going to have to check if we have water out this way, which I am not sure we do. So I'm just going to bring this water down through here, down right like this, and let's bring it up to here. It's a bit messy, but it gets the job done. All right, so we do have that. We're probably gonna have to jump the power here, but since we have kind of finished off this little area here, I do want to look at decorating this area. I am going to decorate along the highway here after we do perhaps an expansion, and look at developing that area a bit more. But we do have some assets we can add in. I don't think we're ready to level up just yet, which is totally fine. I think it's more of like a slower burn for this build. But there aren't really any assets in this section that I want until we get to these, which are ones that I really, really, really want for this area. I think they're going to look absolutely fantastic, especially these ones as well. But there are assets in the park build that I could definitely add in, like the gazebos, because we unlocked them. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned that, but we did. Fantastic. We can definitely look at adding them into our park as well. So why don't we look at getting a gazebo right here at the corner. I'll get a green one over here, and we'll go all the way around our boardwalk and we'll get the same thing. A green one, and then perhaps a red gazebo right here, and that'll encourage more people to come out this way as well, which is really nice. And we do also have these piers as well, which might be useful in this situation, but with this type of park, we are supposed to be far away from the water, right? So perhaps we instead look at, I mean, this might be a nice spot. I think it's more of like a lookout than a pier, which is in that tool that we have already. But perhaps right along here we can get one of these. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this down. Actually, I think let's get a road in first, or pathway. We will go with the park path, and then we're going to do no guidelines. I want the path connection to be right here. Bring it right down like that. Nice. And then we'll just readjust it ever so slightly, so that it lines up with this park. We can actually probably just bring it, yeah, I'll bring it right down here, like this. And then we'll try to use the surface painter to fill this area in. Yeah, the thing about the surface painter is that you have to kind of paint the whole darn road. Let's just bring it just a bit away from this area so it kind of looks like it fills in a bit more. And with that, now we can look at perhaps getting a gravel path around it, or even the nature reserve path with lights. And we're going to turn collision off here, and we're going to turn prop and tree anarchy on as well, but it seems like we still want to delete that. Didn't even mean to click there, that's fine. So I think I'm just going to move these rocks away from the shoreline just ever so slightly, and I just want to get a tiny bit, we don't need those, of pathways along in here. We're just going to say bring path out to there, and then from here we're going to do the same thing. And we'll swing right up into here. Probably shouldn't have left prop and tree anarchy on when I did that, did I? Shouldn't have I? That's okay. Let's just use move it here, and we will just touch them, and it will remove it. I'm actually kind of liking the look of the plants on this one, because I feel like it kind of makes it seem like it is a bit overgrown, which is kind of the vibe I'm going for here. Alright, so I think we'll just get a bit of a pathway out that way. right up. Hey, look at that. We're flooding. Now I'm kind of thinking maybe this wasn't the right idea with lights here. So I'm gonna actually just switch this over to, there we go. I'm gonna leave lights on this road. But over here, let's just swing this over like this. And then we'll get it to connect up like that. Okay, perfect. All right, now you might be asking, Steven, this is pretty overkill, right? Like you've just built a pathway along here. Well, this pathway is going to have access to a bunch of the objects that we're going to place along the waterfront here. So this is a bit off, that's fine. So like I think we're going to get this park pier somewhere down here if we can. But we're definitely going to get that pier right in here. So I'm going to place it down and then just use move it to adjust it. So if there's ever if you're looking for like the biggest takeaway from today's episode, my suggestion is to mix the park assets, because I think mixing the park assets is one of the coolest things you can do in this game. All right, let's see if I can actually just adjust this a bit. Now, I kind of don't even like this anymore right here. Now that we have this painted pathway, kind of thinking that maybe just a normal kind of road like this might work. Oh, probably should have just done ground level here, shouldn't have I? No, ground level. There we go. And then I'll just pull it out. All right, doesn't want to connect or anything like that. That's fine. All right, let's use surface painter here and we'll just paint it out like that. All right, let's use some gravel here. A bit messy, isn't it? Let's see if we can just kind of readjust that ever so slightly. Yeah, I mean, it's working, right? There we go. It's pretty nice, and we can also decorate this a bit. But I do recognize that we're running out of time in today's episode. But let's see. So we got that pier in there. I want to actually, I think we can get a pier over here as well. Let's use this one. So I'm just gonna place it down, and then use move it to readjust it. Hey, we got the viewing deck. That is fantastic to see. So I think we'll actually finish the detailing in tomorrow's episode. Yeah, because I do want to make sure I spend my time on it. So I will just bring this in like this, and then we'll bring this out like so. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, we'll do detailing later, but I will get in the viewing decks that I was praising before. So I do want to get this right up here like so. And then we will use move it here, which is the best mod in the game. We're just gonna readjust it so it's facing the proper angle here. And then what I do like doing is putting it into the mountain so that the stairs, actually I think we can pull this out then. Yeah, that works. So that the stairs are kind of in the ground here. All right, so we're just gonna pull the, let's use the one with lights, that's fine. And we'll just connect up like so. Awesome, so we got one viewing deck into the river. And then we have this one, which is a bit shorter. So they're better used in circumstances where there's not a lot of space. And I think we do have a lot of space, so I don't think we need that one. But I think a viewing deck right here would be absolutely perfect. So click it in, use move it, lower it into the ground so that the staircase is embedded into the terrain itself, and then just connect it up. All right, so we got a lot of detailing to do next episode, and I'm looking forward to it. But we got those assets in. We got. Actually, I think we should just check if we have enough entertainment to the next level. I think we definitely do. So this is definitely going to be a slow burn. Let's check if there's any park assets that we want. You know, perhaps some restrooms might work. I do like using these restrooms kind of as much as possible here. So we'll go with a public restroom right on this side. Right there. And then we'll also get a public restroom over on this side. Just like that. All right. And then I think there's only one more thing I want to do, and that is parking. So I know that in order to pull this asset up, I need just type in park. And I think if we probably get 2 in right here. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that. It's probably good. It's a bit hilly, isn't it? For a parking lot. Perhaps we are better served. Ooh, the time is definitely getting away from me here. Oops, did not mean to do that. Perhaps we are better served if we swing this one out a bit. Like so. Then we move this over here for now, and then we place this right like that. Nice, and then we'll pull the public restroom right beside the parking lot itself. It's a bit steep, isn't it? But I think it works. In this case, we do have a bit better of a parking lot as well. So something we can do also is just fence it off, and then we'll be done with today's episode. So I'm just gonna bring this right to here. Pull this over. And you know what? That fence is horrible, but you guys get what's going on. I'll actually just wait till we do that with the detailing. But that's it for today's episode, folks. Got a bit of flooding. Looks like we can just readjust this ever so slightly with Move It. Let me know how you think about this kind of boardwalk layout. I think there's a couple things we can tweak on it, but we will save that for a future episode. Like there's lots of these brambles in the pathway. I don't mind some of them, but some of them are just a bit too big for my liking. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you next time. Let's try to find a nice little view here. I'm gonna flip it around this way. Peace out.